Peter Shilton is cutting rather different shapes than he's used to in Let's Dance for Sport Relief tonight at 7:15 here on BBC One.
Hello, welcome to Final Score. All the scores and more for you in the next 50 minutes or so. Garth, Crooks and Steve Claridge have been keeping their eyes over the two Premier League matches which kicked off at 3 o'clock. We'll hear more from them in a moment, but let's bring you right up to speed with what's happened at the Emirates. First of all, Arsenal could go top this afternoon if they can win by 4 goals. David Garrido is watching this one.
Well, it's currently at the moment at Arsenal 2, Burnley 1. The Gunners taking the lead through their skipper, Samir Nasri, with an exquisite chip over the top. Cesc Fabregas with a finish on the half volley to nutmeg the Burnley keeper Brian Jensen's stunning goal. And another reason to watch Match of the Day tonight is to count the number of chances that Nicklas Bendtner has missed. I make it 8 so far, including an absolute sitter just moments ago that my mum could have put away. It was that easy. Burnley's shock equaliser came around the hour mark. Clark Carlisle heading an innocuous looking ball into the box. The Arsenal defence just stood and watched. David Nugent pounced and dinked over Manuel Almunia, but it didn't last long. Theo Walcott cutting in from the right, slotting home left-footed to give Arsenal the lead back. It is a cracking game, open and fast-paced, and it's Arsenal 2, Burnley 1.
And the other match that kicked off at 3 o'clock was at Upton Park. Andrew James watching this one.
It's West Ham 0, Bolton 2, a 6-pointer they were saying beforehand, Gabby, and all the pointers pre-match suggested a West Ham win. Hadn't lost, hadn't conceded a goal in the previous 4 league games. Bolton hadn't won and hadn't scored a goal in their previous 4 away league games. So they were 2-0 up within 10 minutes, of course. Kevin Davis, the first to score, soon after Jack Wilshere following up with a second. West Ham completely at 6s and 7s in defence. Elmander could have made it 3-0 to Bolton before the break, and although Zach Knight cleared off the line, we've seen very little from Gianfranco Zola's side, although Bolton now down to 10 men. Tamir Cohen sent off for a second yellow. Bolton down to 10 men. It's West Ham 0, Bolton 2.
There's still time to get back into that one for West Ham. There was a 6th-round FA Cup tie at Fratton Park. Birmingham City, the visitors there, and Simon Brotherton was watching.
Another remarkable twist to the Portsmouth story. They may be consumed by financial chaos and mismanagement, but 2 goals in quick succession midway through the second half from Frederic Piquillon have sent them back to Wembley. The first, the scruffiest goal you'll ever see. The second, one of real individual quality. The match wasn't without controversy, though. With Birmingham pushing to get back in the game, Liam Ridgewell thought he'd scored with around 10 minutes to go, only for the referee Steve Bennett and his assistant to rule that the ball hadn't crossed the line before David James scooped it away. It looked a goal to the naked eye, and video evidence proved it. Who knows what difference it may have made, but it appeared a clear injustice in an important match on the very day that FIFA decided not to pursue goal line technology. Overall, it was a scrappy game, but in the end, quite a story.
What a win for Portsmouth. And Fulham are at home for the other FA Cup 6th-round match today. It's a tea-time kick-off at Craven Cottage. Tottenham Hotspur, the visitors, and you can hear commentary on 5 Live from 5:20 for that one. That's right after we come off air here on BBC One. Let's go to Ibrox. Ian Turner watching the league leaders playing St Mirren. They can go 13 points clear tonight, Ian.
Yeah, that's right. It's a 5th meeting of the season between those 2 teams, and it's looking at the moment as if it's going to be another victory for Rangers. We've got 16, just over 16 minutes to go. Lee McCulloch has taken both his goals extremely well from the edge of the box. St Mirren had taken the lead with a goal from Graham Carey, ironically on loan from Celtic. Celtic, of course, unable to score here at Ibrox last Sunday. Looking good for Rangers. They're comfortably in control, and they lead St Mirren 2-1.
And a result at lunchtime at Easter Road, Hibs winning 1-0 against Kilmarnock. Let's go to St James's Park for some goal news from Steve Sutton. More goal news from Steve Sutton.
Yes, it's turning into a rout, Gabby. Newcastle 5, Barnsley 0. This time, Danny Guthrie with his second. It came from a free kick. He curled it into the centre of the penalty area. It took one bounce. Nobody got a touch. Everyone left it into the back of the net. Just before that, it was Jonas Gutierrez with a contender for the championship goal of the season. Watch that one on the Football League show tonight. Lovenkranz has got 2. It's Newcastle 5, Barnsley 0.
And Plymouth have got a goal back at home park. Their equaliser there coming from Damien Johnson. Penalty on 71 minutes. Let's check in with Ivan Gaskell. He's at the City Ground. It's third place, fourth in the Championship, and it's the only game in this division without a goal, Ivan Gaskell.
Yeah, sorry about that. 20 minutes to go here and two decent sides cancelling one another out in a stalemate, really. Very little in it, though Forest have missed the best of the chances. Cohen guilty of the most glaring of these. At the moment, Newcastle and West Brom will be enjoying this slightly more than the 25,000 here at the City Ground. 0-0.
Let's go to Carrow Road. The league leaders, Norwich, playing Yeovil this afternoon. John Rawling can update us with some goal news.
And they're leading now by 3-0. Norwich City's first ever match against Yeovil at Carrow Road. They've looked in a different class. The first goal in the second minute, Grant Holt's effort off the line. Wes Houlihan hooked in from close range, and Yeovil just haven't coped with Holt's goal threat. He came close with a header from a corner, shot wide just before the interval when he should have scored. Finally grabbed a second in the 69th minute, and then just a few seconds ago, Chris Martin getting his 20th of the season. And Norwich now leading by 3-0 in complete command.
Let's go back to the Championship and back to St James's Park. Steve Sutton.
Well, Ivan can have one of my goals if he wants, Gabby. It's now Newcastle 6, Barnsley 0. This time, Kevin Nolan on the score sheet. A long ball through the middle. Kevin Nolan in behind the defence. He rounded the keeper into the net. Newcastle 6, 10-man Barnsley 0.
Well, their nearest rivals at the top of the Championship are West Brom. And if things stay as they are, they're 9 points clear tonight, Newcastle United, because at the moment, things are going very well at Loftus Road for new manager Neil Warnock. Andy Barwell can tell us more.
Yes, it's 3-1 to QPR. Made a great start under Neil Warnock, their fifth manager of the campaign. West Brom keeper Scott Carson won't be happy after conceding to Jay Simpson and Matthew Connolly. West Brom got a goal back through a header from Chris Brunt. They start to control this game in the second half, but QPR have re-established a two-goal lead, a two-goal cushion. Tamas Priskin's shot off the upright and over the line is certainly giving Warnock's side some breathing space, though he's getting more and more animated. QPR 3, West Brom 1.
Let's go to Selhurst Park because the seat that Neil Warnock vacated is now filled by Paul Hart, who used to be in the seat that Neil Warnock is in. I know you're keeping up with me. Sheffield United visitors there at Selhurst Park this afternoon. And John Anderson, another debut that's going OK.
It's going pretty well. It's Crystal Palace 1, Sheffield United 0. The goal scored by Alan Lee with a crisp volley midway through the first half. I think Paul Hart will be a little bit disappointed, though, that his side haven't finished Sheffield United off. Ambrose with a volley which went straight at goalkeeper Bunn. Then Nick Carl with a low cross. Alan Lee at the far post missed an absolute sitter, and Clint Hill has also had an unchallenged header over the crossbar. So there is still hope for Sheffield United, although they have been very, very poor. Crystal Palace 1, Sheffield United 0.
Sheffield United knocking on the playoff places, but two teams very much entrenched in those playoff places are at the City Ground this afternoon with Ivan Gaskell. A penalty shout for Swansea.
Oh, and it's a big, big call, this, from the referee. 0-0 here, but Swansea broke through. It was a lovely ball through, actually, from the substitute. Came on at the break. Cedric van der Gun just sliced the Forest defence wide open, and Darren Pratley breaking through looked to be he was poised to shoot. He almost pulled the trigger from the pass by Gunn, but actually Wes Morgan got in his way. To me, that was a penalty all day long. The referee said no, and Paulo de Sousa down in the dugout in front of me cannot believe his eyes. In fact, he's pulled half of the hair out on his bounteous head of hair. It's still 0-0. Swansea feel most aggrieved here.
Let's go to Ibrox. Ian Turner has more goal news for us.
Yeah, looks as if Rangers have tied up the points with 12 minutes left. It was a free kick out on the Rangers' left, swung in by Stephen Davis. Terrible hesitancy in the Saints' defence. Paul Gallagher, the keeper, missed it as well, and it crept in on its own at the far post. Goal to Stephen Davis. 3 for Rangers, 1 for St Mirren. It's 3 points for Rangers.
To Pride Park, and Mark Bishop was enjoying this match the last time we spoke to him. He said it was a captain's performance from Robbie Savage. How are the home teams doing right now?
They're doing even better since you last came to me, Gabby. Derby County 2, Watford 0. It's game over for Watford, I think. Chris Porter running on to a lovely ball from that man, Robbie Savage, planting the ball past Scott Loach into the bottom left-hand corner. Another big crowd here at Pride Park. Nearly 30,000 witnessing not only a 20-yard rocket of a shot from Michael Tongue to make it 1-0 in the first half, which flew in off the crossbar, but they've also seen Robbie Savage roll back the years. He's had a terrific performance. He's run the midfield, even had a bit of time for showboating in the first half, and it's Derby who are going to run out winners by 2-0.
And that would be 11 games now Watford have played away without a win. Let's go to the Cardiff City ground. Jason Mohammed watching the home side, putting in a strong performance in the face of off-field protest today.
Yep, another protest today before the kick-off. Fans calling for the head of the chairman, Peter Ridsdale. Middlesbrough haven't won in Cardiff for almost 40 years, and today they just have not looked like breaking that hoodoo. And after another protest, Cardiff City fans were celebrating within 3 minutes. Jay Bothroyd scoring his 10th of the season. Chopra then had his lob saved by Danny Coyne. Borough's best chance fell to Leroy Lita at the start of the second half, but headed wide from Andrew Taylor's delicious cross. David Wheater had the ball in the net on 60 minutes, but was ruled out for handball. As you can imagine, Gabby, Gordon Strachan not happy, and he had a very stern talking to from referee Darren Deadman. It's Cardiff City 1, Middlesbrough 0.
Let's go to Hillsborough now. Sheffield Wednesday have lost 3 on the bounce. Things are turning out to be a bit better today, though, Alan Biggs.
Yes, they're leading 2-0, and make no mistake, the better team is ahead here. It's against the form book, but Wednesday have been bright and sparky. Leicester rather laboured, becalmed, it seems, by a bobbly pitch. Wednesday have played it simple and direct, really positive starts to each half. Leon Clark with both goals, a rasping shot for the first, a predator's steal for the second after a fast break by Jermaine Johnson. Leicester's keeper Chris Wheel had to leave the field through injury in the opening half, but that hasn't unduly affected a shock scoreline, a poor performance from Leicester. They trail 2-0.
Ipswich playing at Bloomfield Road this afternoon, and Ipswich have had 17 draws this season. If they'd won all those matches, they'd be 3 points clear at the top of the Championship. Damien Johnson, I bet they wish they could draw this afternoon.
Yeah, great stat there, isn't it? Blackpool 1, Ipswich 0, though. Jason Ewell's second half volley separates the two sides. Blackpool good value, they've been full of attacking intent. Ipswich have played their part, though. Matt Gilks in the Blackpool goal has been absolutely magnificent. 3 fantastic saves, the latest of which to deny Pablo Cunyago, even applauded by Roy Keane, the Ipswich manager. It's an atrocious surface. Expect more on that. Blackpool lead 1-0.
Coventry looking for their first back-to-back away win since November 2008, and it's going all right at London Road. Tony Lockwood.
Little comfort for the Championship's bottom club, who could be heading for a 20th league defeat. Peterborough down and out, trailing to a first-half goal from on-loan striker Jonathan Stead. He raced on to an inviting through ball, held off the challenge of Craig Morgan, and then found the necessary finish to reward 3,000 visiting Coventry fans. Charlie Lee closest to an equaliser. A header for the Posh, which rattled the crossbar and then was cleared off the goal line. Peterborough 0, Coventry 1.
Let's check in with Tony Colliver at Ashton Gate. Tony, you're just holding off Steve Sutton at St James's Park as game with most goals in today in the Championship.
I'll do my best. 78 gone. Bristol City 2, Doncaster Rovers 5. Hugely entertaining game. Saw 4 goals in a 13-minute first half spell, 2 to each side. Soon after, the visitors grabbed 2 more to lead at the break. Then they added a 5th. There's only been 3 goal scorers, 2 for Bristol City's right back, Bradley Orther. He also scored another one in his own net. Then there was 2 each for Doncaster Rovers top scorer Billy Sharp and J. Emmanuel Thomas, who's tormented the Bristol City defence. Bristol City 2, Doncaster Rovers 5.
Plymouth Argyle lost a very famous fan in the shape of Michael Foot this week. They're drawing at the moment against Preston North End. Hamish Marshall, any signs they can produce a winner for him?
Well, they're giving it their best with a minute's applause before the game, and now his side have got themselves back into this match. Damien Johnson had converted a penalty after a handball. It'll be a match, though, that Preston will be very disappointed if they don't win. They'd 5 excellent first half chances, but only Sean St Ledger's header found the back of the net. Plymouth have been better after the break, and we've got 10 minutes to go.
Head up to Elland Road now. Leeds United trailing at home to Brentford. What's going on, James Mason? The boys here saying a bit of stage fright might be setting in.
They were trailing, Gabby, but Jermaine Beckford did equalise. Leeds were struggling and have struggled all afternoon against a plucky Brentford side who took the lead when Ben Strevens got the final touch in a goal-mile scramble. But 12 minutes later, Beckford did equalise. And you're right, it possibly is stage fright, but they do score in the late stages of games. So watch this space. Leeds 1, Brentford 1.
Sorry about that, James. Missed that Beckford goal. Let's go now to Juliet Ferrington. She's at Edgar Street, where Macclesfield are playing without their manager, Keith Alexander, of course, who passed away on Wednesday. They had a minute's silence before the match there. A very sombre affair, you might think, but they seem to be inspired, Juliet.
Certainly, their players obviously in mourning and still in shock, Macclesfield, but they still lead Hereford here by 2-0. A fitting performance so far this afternoon, a goal in each half in what's turning out to be pretty comfortable for them. Sappleton and Sinclair providing the goals. Hereford's best chance, though, coming in this second half. Sam Gwynn producing a one-handed save from the Hereford goalkeeper, but it's been all Macclesfield this afternoon. The story of the week has been Macclesfield Town, and they're leading here, Hereford, by 2-0.
Craig Brown's Motherwell have just got a goal back. 2-1 now. They're winning at St Johnstone. Let's go, though, to the Premier League and to Upton Park. And a goal. Andrew James can tell us where it's gone.
Wonder whether we've got a storming finish on our hands, Gabby, because Alessandro Diamante, just a matter of a few moments after being announced on the PA system as the man of the match, 1 or 2 boos when that was announced, he's put the ball into the net, curling shot beyond the reach of Jyski Jääskeläinen. And now West Ham, against the 10 men of Bolton, have pulled it back. It's West Ham 1, Bolton 2, still have 2 minutes of normal time to play.
Just time for a great fight back, as it says. Let's go to David Garrido at the Emirates. Arsenal ahead. Does that look good for the next few minutes?
I think so, yes. They look comfortable at the moment. Substitute Eduardo has come on for Nicholas Bentner, who hasn't had the best day at the office, let's be honest. He almost got on the score sheet straight away, the Croatian. Couldn't quite connect with Sami Nasri's teasing cross. And another sub, Andre Arshavin, blazed over from close range. So many chances for the Gunners. For Burnley, they've chucked on Stephen Thompson for Martin Patterson. And unbelievably, they are still in this game. We've got 6 minutes exactly of normal time remaining. It's Arsenal 2, Burnley 1.
OK, let's talk about West Ham's fight back. Have they got time, Garth?
I think they've run out of time, personally. I think Bolton have been a fantastic performance. I think Cole's got it absolutely right. He's not only shown steel in his team, but also a lot of purpose and quite a bit of flair, I think. Fabrice Muamba, I think, today has been outstanding for Bolton. He's a player who isn't pretty on the eye, but he works extremely hard. And it's his 2 steals in the game that provide the 2 goals. It's the basis for the 2 goals for Bolton in the first half. He's been outstanding for me.
10 league games they'll have gone without an away win. If they get that win today, they'll be an important landmark for Owen Coyle. The club he left, of course, still can't get an away win. They're behind the Emirates, Burnley, and I guess Arsenal looking good for the win.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've seen the evidence today of why probably Owen Coyle left Burnley to go to Bolton. One is an established Premiership side who seem to know that they know how to stay in the Premiership, and the other, unfortunately, at this stage, possibly might not. They've been all right, Burnley, in all honesty. They've had a right go when you consider the poor result last week. OK, Arsenal had chances, but Burnley have played their part. They've never given up. They've always kept going, kept working, and they've just had a decent opportunity which they've skied over. But, no, if Arsenal, as David said, had taken their chances, they'd have been long gone.
No,
but,
and, you know, to win by 4 clear goals, they'd have been top at tea time, obviously.
Yeah, that's not going to happen, but I think they'll settle for a victory because it was 1-1 at one stage for a period of the game.
And let's just talk about that quarter-final at Fratton Park at lunchtime, Garth. The incident which, unfortunately for Alex McLeish, has kind of marred the whole day. Besides losing, was a Liam Ridgewell goal ruled, disallowed. And in the ironic day that goal line technology has also been ruled out by FIFA for the World Cup, it will be a talking point, won't it?
Quite rightly, in my view. But in terms of the game at Fratton Park, there's no doubt that Steve Bennett got it wrong, and he wasn't helped out by his linesman or his the assistant. Clearly, when we first saw it, we instinctively thought it was over the line, and of course the replay proved it. Alec McLeish is absolutely adamant that the assistant should have seen it. Should have been in a better position to see it. And at that stage, it would have been a turning point. It had put Birmingham 2-1 down.
10 minutes
with
to go.
10 minutes to go. They could have taken them back to St Andrews.
It would be a much more controversial talking point had it been 1-0, though, wouldn't it? I mean, at 2-0.
Yeah, we don't know whether. Yeah, we're surmising they might got it back, get back into it. But in all honesty, they probably
well, you can see an important comeback on the way. Daniel Bogdanovic there with a goal for Barnsley. Steve Sutton, who's over there, can tell us all about it at St James's Park.
Yeah, what a comeback that would be, Gabby. 7 minutes to get another 5 to at least force a draw. Came on the 82nd minute. Daniel Bogdanovic walking through the Newcastle defence. They'd rather turned off a little bit. He had no trouble slotting the ball into the net. 6-1 sounds like a set score, doesn't it, of what the other Bogdanovic would do at tennis. Anyway, Newcastle 6, Barnsley 1.
But would he be winning or losing, Steve? Let's get the full SP from the SPL encounter between Hibs and Kilmarnock. Brian McLaughlin was there for us.
Hibs ending a run of 5 matches without a win, and for 24 hours at least are back into 3rd place in the SPL table. We had to wait until 12 minutes before the end for the only goal of the game, but what a strike it was. Derek Ryan with a free kick 30 yards out around the wall and into the back of the net. That strike from Ryan, his 12th of the season, also saved the blushes of the Moroccan internationalist Abdesalam Benjaloun, who had a spot kick saved by Kilmarnock keeper Lee Robinson. A deserved win for Hibs, with Kilmarnock now just 6 points ahead of bottom side Falkirk, who plays Celtic tomorrow. At Easter Road it finished Hibs 1, Kilmarnock 0.
Let's go back to the Championship. 3rd playing 4th, as we've mentioned, at the City Ground. And Ivan Gaskell, there are 2 matches in that division with 7 goals. How many have you got?
Oh, you have to rub it in. Nottingham Forest 0, Swansea is the scoreline. We've got 6 minutes to go. I think we've possibly seen the best of the chances. Most of them have fallen to Forest, though Swansea are still shaking their heads in disbelief that a penalty wasn't given around about 12 minutes ago. There's just been a third Forest substitute, and here's a bit of trivia for you. Each of the Forest substitutes, and there have been 3 of them, begin with McGugan, McCleary, McGoldrick. Somebody beat that stat today.
Nobody can beat that, but they can have goals in their matches, though. Let's get some goal news from Loftus Road. Andy Barwell. Oh, sorry, it's an update, Andy.
It's still only 3-1 to Queen's Park Rangers. You worried me then, Gabby. QPR aiming for a first win under their new boss, Neil Warnock. He's waving his arms around dramatically just below me in the dugout area. West Bromwich Albion, it's not going to be their day today. Jerome Thomas's shot moments ago was charged down in the area, maybe paying the price for quite a strange starting lineup. They've left Graham Dorrans, one of their best players, on the bench throughout this game here. Roberto Di Matteo's side heading for a defeat. 3-1 to Queen's Park Rangers.
And that would mean that Newcastle United have got a 9-point lead at the top of the Championship this evening, if that stays as it is. Was it a chance for West Ham? A winner?
Yeah,
Equaliser, sorry, for West Ham?
Stanislas has come on as substitute. They're just route one now, getting the ball into the box. It's been headed clear, and he's taken it down his chest, and he's hit it half volley. Great strike, and it's hit the bar, spark on the bar, and then come out. Give the keeper, Jeskalainen, absolutely no chance. And I'm not sure they've done enough, to be fair. No. It's a late rally.
It would be a little bit
outstanding. He's been sent off, and I think this would be a little bit unfair.
Yeah, Bolton would have been outstanding for me.
OK, thank you very much. Let's go to Selhurst Park. John Anderson there for us. Give us an update, John, as to how this one's going to finish.
Well, it's still Palace 1, Sheffield United 0. Palace really should be out of sight. They've missed a hat-trick of chances in the second half, and will they be made to pay? Because we're just coming into stoppage time. There could be a fair bit of it with a few injuries. Sheffield United on the attack with a free kick, which is in the end shot wide by Henri Camara. Relief for the Palace fans there, but they're clinging on rather more than they should be. They've missed chances, but at the moment it looks like they're going to survive. Palace 1, Sheffield United 0.
And it's all over at Upton Park. Andrew James was a proverbial six-pointer, wasn't it?
Oh,
because,
yeah.
you know, you've now got Bolton in 13th place on 29 points tonight.
They go above West Ham. And I reckon 36 points should keep you safe in the Premiership this season. So they're looking now at the finish line. They are massive, massive points. And when you watch Match of the Day tonight and you see the reaction between people like Zach Knight and Owen Coy, you know what it means to them. As the reporter said, Wiltshire, I thought was excellent, took his goal very, very well. Davis, we know, always give you a poor performance.
Fantastic.
But Mwamba does all the things that players don't really like to do. Cover the ground, stick his foot in, bring it all up. 2 big results against teams around them. Wolves last week, West Ham this week, and all of a sudden, you know, they look as if they're going to be a
comfortable. And you look at Burnley, dare I
stand.
say it, you know, set to lose at the Emirates, second from bottom, and that move that Owen Coyle's made.
Well, it's understandable. As I said, you've got one side that's established, one side that knows how to win when the chips are down, knows what to do to stay in the Premiership, and you've got the other side who doesn't,
OK, full time at Edgar Street. Juliette Farrington was watching a Macclesfield side who must have felt really motivated and inspired today by their performance. Of course, Keith Alexander, their manager, died on Wednesday. Juliette.
Yeah, Macclesfield producing arguably what could be one of their performances of the season. They've just beaten Hereford by 2-0 for their first win of the year. 72 hours, of course, after the sudden death of their manager. Rarely threatened, though, by Hereford, whose best moment came from Sam Gwynn in the second half, forcing John Brain in the Macclesfield goal to make a spectacular save. Sappleton and Sinclair with the goals. The players now just leaving the pitch. They made their way first to the 200 or so travelling fans and applauded them. A fitting tribute, though, to Keith Alexander, a proud one at that, and I'm sure now they're going to make their way to the dressing room. A few more tears, perhaps. They can let that emotion flow, but they produced a performance to beat Hereford by 2-0.
I imagine that would be an emotional dressing room.
It would be a very emotional dressing room. We said before the game, I mean, tough footballers, professional footballers as they are, you know, they've done a professional job. They've clearly done it for the gaffer, who's no longer there. And I think now they'll have a few quiet moments in the dressing room together and perhaps provide closure for what's happened this week.
Yeah, I mean, a couple of players got interviewed and said he wasn't just a manager, he was actually a friend as well. And there's no doubt that will have affected them greatly.
OK, thank you, guys. Let's move up to the SPL. Full-time at Ibrox. Ian Turner, 13-point lead for Rangers now.
Absolutely right, Gabby. And off the field, Rangers may be about to receive a £30 million takeover bid from London-based property developer Andrew Ellis and his consortium partners. But on the field today, it was just business as usual. A come-from-behind victory, courtesy of 2 McCulloch goals and a Novo flick on a Davis free kick, carries Walter Smith's side, as you say, 13 points clear of second-place Celtic and piles the pressure on their greatest rivals, whose player Graham Carey, out on loan, scored the game's opener with a fine free kick. Rangers march on, 3-1 victors over St Mirren.
Thank you very much, Ian. A goal to tell you about at the Emirates. David Garrido. It's not an equaliser, is it?
It's not, no. Arsenal 3, Burnley 1. Andre Arshavin finally putting one of his chances away, combining with Eduardo, then firing past Brian Jensen at the near post. That should be that. It's Arsenal 3, Burnley 1.
Thank you. And finally, a goal at the City Ground. Ivan Gaskell.
My goodness, they left it late. 45 seconds into added time, and Nottingham Forest looked like they'd won it. It was a corner that was swung in from the far side of the field, and there was Cohen. And there was Morgan and Anderson and Chambers all in together, but it was Chambers who became free at the far post, and actually by the end he had yards of space and headed it home. Forest can't hardly believe it, and it's 10 league wins in a row at home now. With seconds left, they lead 1-0.
And how important could that goal be? If it finishes that way, Nottingham Forest will go second into the automatic promotion spots. But it's full time at the Emirates. They didn't quite get the 4-goal buffer they needed, but they got a big win there, David Garrido.
Arsenal 3, Burnley 1, the full-time score here, Gabby. Yes, 4 clear goals, they would have been top. They had more than enough chances to do that, though. Most of them falling to Nicholas Bentner, 8 in total. Cesc Fabregas combined with Samir Nasri before half-volleying through Burnley keeper Brian Jensen's legs for the first. Theo Walcott cutting in from the right and curling the ball into the bottom left-hand corner for Arsenal's second. But Burnley's equaliser in between is proof the Gunners aren't as convincing at the back as they are going forward. Clark Carlisle heading into the box, the Arsenal defence just parting, and David Nugent pounced to dink it over Manuel Almunia. Andre Arshavin put a bit of a gloss on the scoreline, but it could and should have been more convincing. Final score, Arsenal 3, Burnley 1.
Couldn't be tighter at the top, could it? Let's go to League One, though, where Norwich not experiencing such a tightness at the top, because John Rawling, a convincing win for them again today at Carrow Road.
Absolutely, they've beaten Yeovil 3-0. Yeovil outclassed. They could have lost by more. Norwich ahead after just 2 minutes through Wes Hoolahan, and then in the second half, Grant Holt notched his 26th of the season from 6 yards. To 69 minutes, and then Chris Martin with his 20th of the season 5 minutes later drove home after Holt's shot had been blocked. Yeovil were really poor. The 25,000 crowd cheered the name of the Norwich manager Paul Lambert. No wonder they have the look of champions. 3-0.
They do, and they'll be going up to the Championship where Newcastle United are looking like they're leaving. Steve Sutton, another big win for them at St James's Park.
Yes, Gabby, the steamroller there is Newcastle United at St James's Park do it again. They've beaten Barnsley by 6-1. It was huff and puff until the very end of the first half before Peter Lovenkrands was brought down by Luke Steele. He was red-carded. David Priest came on and the rout began. Lovenkrands scored from the penalty spot. In the second half, he got a second with a header. Danny Guthrie got 2. Gutierrez, with possibly the championship goal of the season, added another 1. Nolan got 1, and then Bogdanovic, a consolation for Barnsley right at the end. A thoroughly entertaining game. Newcastle 6, Barnsley 1.
John Anderson was at Selhurst Park this afternoon watching Paul Hart jump into the hot seat there. Tell us what happened there.
Winning start for Paul Hart, 1-0 Palace, ending a run of 3 home league defeats for his new club. The victory sealed midway through the first half. Alan Lee meeting Danny Butterfield's cross with a crisp volley. Palace missed a hat-trick of chances to settle it more comprehensively in the second half, but so poor was Sheffield United that they never looked like punishing that profligacy. A big win for Paul Hart, a big win for Palace, 1-0.
And what a big win at the City Ground. Ivan Gaskell, it's all over there. And how important that goal when we look back at the reckoning at the end of the season, because it takes them above West Bromwich Albion.
Yes, they had to grind it out, and it took them a while, but they got there in the end. Forest 1, Swansea 0. Swansea's long unbeaten league run began following defeat at home to Forest back in December. It's ended at the hands of Forest at the City Ground here today. Nothing between them, really. Forest missed perhaps the best of the chances, but Swansea will point to a big penalty call. Pratley appeared to be bundled over by Morgan just as he was poised to strike midway through the second half. Finally, a minute into stoppage time, Forest snatched it. Luke Chambers heading in, a corner. Forest 10 successive league wins at the City Ground, 1-0 winners here.
Paolo Susan may well have something to say about that penalty decision, which didn't go Swansea's way. We'll see that a little bit later on the show here. Stay with us. Let's go to Elland Road, though. James Mason watching Leeds against Brentford.
It ended Leeds United 1, Brentford 1, Gabby. Despite chance after chance in the final 10 minutes, Leeds were unable to break down a resolute Brentford side and only had themselves to blame. Poor defending allowed Ben Strevens to put the visitors ahead, and a handful of missed chances summed up their afternoon. But Jermaine Beckford finally did convert one, side-footing home his first in 7 games to spare Leeds blushes. It ended Leeds United 1, Brentford 1.
All the build-up to the big games start here on Final Score, 2:30 every Saturday afternoon. All you have to do is press the red button, and then you get every goal as it goes in. And, of course, the words of wisdom emanating from my right. Time now, though, for the classified football results with Tim Gudgin.
In the Barclays Premier Cup, the FA Cup sponsored by Eon, first of all, the 6th round. Fulham and Tottenham Hotspur have an evening kick-off at 5:30. Portsmouth 2, Birmingham City 0. And now on to the Barclays Premier League. Arsenal 3, Burnley 1. West Ham United 1, Bolton Wanderers 2. Wolverhampton Wanderers and Manchester United have an evening kick-off. In the Coca-Cola Championship, Blackpool 1, Ipswich Town 0. Bristol City 2, Doncaster Rovers 5. Cardiff City 1, Middlesbrough 0. Crystal Palace 1, Sheffield United 0. Derby County 2, Watford 0. Newcastle United 6, Barnsley 1. Nottingham Forest 1, Swansea City 0. Peterborough United 0, Coventry City 1. Plymouth Argyle 1, Preston North End 1. Queen's Park Rangers 3, West Bromwich Albion 1. Sheffield Wednesday 2, Leicester City 0. In Coca-Cola League 1, Charlton Athletic 2, Stockport County 0. Exeter City 1, Oldham Athletic 1. Gillingham 2, Huddersfield Town 0. Hartlepool United 3, Southend United 0. Leeds United 1, Brentford 1. Milton Keynes Dons 1, Leyton Orient 0. Norwich City 3, Yeovil Town 0. Swindon Town 0, Bristol Rovers 4. Tranmere Rovers 2, Southampton 1. Walsall 2, Millwall 2. Wycombe Wanderers 0, Carlisle United 0. In League 2, Accrington Stanley 0, Notts County 3. AFC Bournemouth 1, Morecambe 0. Aldershot Town 0, Burton Albion 2. Bury 0, Dagenham and Redbridge 0. Cheltenham Town 0, Chesterfield 1. Crewe Alexandra 2, Barnet 2. Darlington 1, Torquay United 3. Grimsby Town 3, Shrewsbury Town 0. Hereford United 0, Macclesfield Town 2. Port Vale 1, Northampton Town 3. Rochdale 1, Lincoln City 1. And Rotherham United 1, Bradford City 2. In the Blue Square Premier, AFC Wimbledon 1, Altrincham 1. Barrow 0, Cambridge United 1. Eastbourne Borough 0, Kidderminster Harriers 0. Forest Green Rovers 2, York City 1. Hayes and Yeading United 2, Luton Town 3. Histon 0, Gateshead 0. Kettering Town 2, Grays Athletic 0. Mansfield Town 4, Salisbury City 2. Stevenage Borough 2, Crawley Town 0. Tamworth 0, Rushton and Diamonds 1. And Wrexham 1, Ebbsfleet United 1. In the Clydesdale Bank Scottish Premier League, Hamilton Academical 1, Aberdeen 1. Hibernian 1, Kilmarnock 0. Rangers 3, St Mirren 1. St Johnstone 1, Motherwell 2. In the Iron Brews Scottish Division 1, Ayr United 2, Greenock Morton 0. Dundee 2, Inverness Caledonian Thistle 2. Dunfermline Athletic 2, Airdrie United 0. Queen of the South 1, Partick Thistle 0. Ross County 1, Wraith Rovers 0. Scottish Div 2, Alloa Athletic 2, Clyde 2. Arbroath 1, Stonehouse Muir 1. Cowdenbeath 6, East Fife 2. Dumbarton 0, Brecon City 1. Peterhead 1, Stirling Albion 1. And Scottish Division 3, Annan Athletic 3, Elgin City 3. East Stirlingshire 4, Forfar Athletic 0. Livingston's match with Albion Rovers postponed. Queen's Park 2, Berwick Rangers 3. And Stranraer 0, Montrose 2. In the Welsh Premier, Airbus UK Broughton 3, Carsous 0. Bangor City 3, Welshpool Town 2. CPD Portmarnock 0, Haverfordwest County 0. Elements Kefan Druids 2, Llanelli 5. Newtown 1, Aberystwyth Town 2. Port Talbot Town 0, Carmarthen Town 1. And Rhyl 0, Neath 1. In the Carling Premiership, Coleraine 1, Lisburn Distillery 3. In the JJB Sports Irish Cup quarter-finals, Crusaders 1, Portadown 1. Glenavon 3, Ballymena United 3. And Glentoran 1, Linfield 3.
So, top of the Premier League then. Arsenal level on points with leaders Chelsea, but they need 2 more goals if they wanted to go outright top. And defending champions Manchester United can become the 3rd leaders of the day by avoiding defeat at Wolves in the 5:30 kickoff. Everton are the only other club in the top half to play a league game this weekend. They host Hull tomorrow. With relegation seemingly inevitable, Portsmouth's focus seems to be on the FA Cup following their quarter-final win today. Burnley remains second bottom, a point adrift of 17th place Wolves, who are, of course, playing Manchester United shortly. Newcastle stretched their lead in the Championship to 8 points after their victory over Barnsley. 6-1 the scoreline, also a handy boost to goal difference should that play a part. Nottingham Forest up to second thanks to Luke Chambers' late winner against Swansea, with West Brom slipping back after defeat at QPR. Leicester remain in a playoff spot despite losing at Sheffield Wednesday, while 6th placed Cardiff record an important win against Middlesbrough. At the bottom, Peterborough, 13 points from safety now after their defeat to Coventry at London Road, with Plymouth only 6 points better off following their draw with Preston. Wins for Sheffield Wednesday and Crystal Palace increased the pressure on the teams above them. Roy Keane's Ipswich are only a point above the relegation zone after they lost at Blackpool. In League One, Norwich have extended their lead to 7 points following their 3rd successive win, coupled with Leeds' failure to beat Brentford. They only managed a draw. The only change in the top 6 sees Millwall displace Huddersfield, who lost their 2nd loss in a week. Stockport now have an improbable 10-point gap to make up if they're to avoid relegation. None of the bottom 5 won, but Southend slip into the relegation zone below Exeter and Oldham, who shared a 1-1 draw. Tranmere and Gillingham both secured potentially vital victories. In League Two, Rochdale's lead is down to 6 points after they were held to a 1-1 draw by Lincoln. Bournemouth capitalised by beating Morecambe 1-0, while Chesterfield made it 5 away wins on the bounce at Cheltenham. At the bottom, Darlington remains 16 points from safety after losing to fast-improving Torquay. League Two's result of the day, Grimsby's 3-0 victory against Shrewsbury, which ended their club record 25-game winless run. Macclesfield also showed real spirit to win at Hereford in their first match since their manager Keith Alexander passed away. And the Blue Square top, Stevenage Borough are the new league leaders following their home win over Crawley. Oxford without a game this weekend following the expulsion of scheduled opponents Chester. However, once the table has been recalculated without Chester's results, Oxford will regain top spot. To the bottom, Chester's fate has been sealed. Their results this season will be expunged once their expulsion has been ratified. Grays look doomed for relegation, but a win for Forest Green has moved them within a point of Barrow and 2 of Gateshead. And on the SPL, Rangers lead now 13 points after their 3-1 victory against St Mirren at Ibrox, and that result means Celtic probably have to win at Falkirk tomorrow to retain any realistic title hopes. Derek Reardon's winner against Kilmarnock takes Hibs back to 3rd, while informed Motherwell beat St Johnstone. Hamilton remained second from bottom after Aberdeen came from behind to earn a 1-1 draw at New Douglas Park. Scots Division 1, Dundee's 2-2 draw with Inverness means their lead is down to 6 points. Second place Ross County beat Wraith Rovers 1-0, while bottom side Airdrie lost at Dunfermline. Scots Division 2, Alloa's lead down to 6 points despite David McClune's late equaliser against bottom side Clyde. Cowdenbeath took full advantage, hammering East Fife 6-2 to cut the gap at the top. And Scottish Division 3, Livingston's game postponed yesterday due to a frozen pitch, so their lead at the top has been cut to 4 points by East Stirlingshire. Rock bottom Montrose claimed their second league win of the season at the expense of Stranraer. Montrose now 9 points adrift of Elgin in 9th. Let's get the headlines then from today. So it's Portsmouth 2, Birmingham 0 in the FA Cup 6th round. Could Portsmouth's name be on the FA Cup? It's no wind-up as the club and administration seal a trip to Wembley at the expense of Birmingham. Frederic Piquion got both goals. Arsenal 3, Burnley 1. Theo Walcott sparked much debate over whether he should be on the plane to South Africa this summer, but he's just the ticket for Arsenal as they survive a scare against second-bottom Burnley. West Ham 1, Nottingham Forest 1, Swansea 0 in the Championship, and Luke Chambers keeps his head to nod Nottingham Forest into second place with a stoppage time winner. So match of the day is on at 10:30 on BBC One tonight. Highlights of the games at Arsenal, West Ham and Wolves against Manchester United. The Football League show follows at 11:30 on BBC One with all the goals from the Football League today. We'll be showing the key highlights of Nottingham Forest against Swansea shortly, so stay with us for that. And the main game on Match of the Day 2 tomorrow, Everton against Hull. That's 10:25 on BBC One this week. And don't forget, late kick-off, all the news and action from the Football League in your region, 11:35 Monday night on BBC One. Let's head back to Jonathan Pearce at the Emirates. Jonathan, ahead of the match, you know, we were talking about the 4-goal cushion that they needed Arsenal to go top outright. Now we're talking about the fact that actually, here in the studio anyway, we're talking about the fact that they've gone a long time since they've actually got a clean sheet. They're conceding, looking a little bit frail in certain areas.
Well, they certainly had to work harder for this victory than many people thought they would have to. Cesc Fabregas gave them the lead. Hesitation between Alexander and Jensen, the Burnley goalkeeper. That was about 10 minutes before half-time. And then Aboue's clearance 5 minutes after the break fell for a big header forward from the centre-back and flew over the head of an advancing Arsenal back four, very square on, and there was Nugent to lob past the goalkeeper. Not very good defending, but to be fair, Gabby, that was the only time Burnley really threatened them. It was a rearguard action for them. Theo Walcott lit things up in the second half, coming inside, rasping a shot just over, and then finding the corner of the net with a much more accurate, well-placed, considered shot. That turned the game really Arsenal's way definitively, and Andre Arshavin's goal in stoppage time completed the victory. They didn't have missed chances. I mean, you wait till you see match of the day. Nicholas Bentner hung his head in shame, heading wide. He had reason to. It was a glaring error. He missed a couple. Walcott missed one. Arshavin as well. They could have sewn this game up by 5 or 6.
Do you think, though, Jonathan, from what you've seen, you know, you talk about missing chances at this stage of the season against Burnley is one thing. Can you see them still being there on the final day, challenging for the title? You know, it's so tight in the top 3 now, isn't it?
Yeah, I certainly can. I think there'll be 2 points in it between the top 3 right to the end of the season. You've got to remember this was a long and exhausting week, physically and emotionally, for Arsenal. After the Aaron Ramsey broken leg, the players suffered that sort of sensitive response, and then lots of them were away. 12 players were away on international duty. Vela, for example, couldn't play today. He was jet lagged because Mexico had to go to New Zealand and play New Zealand. So there were many reasons why Arsenal looked a little bit sludgy at times today, but they've got this game out of the way now, and they'll go on, and I think they will compete right to the end of the season.
And for people who haven't been with us since 2:30, since we came on air, they won't know about the tributes to Aaron Ramsey, and obviously the players had their T-shirts on and the fans were wishing him support as well, weren't they?
Over 60,000 messages of goodwill to Aaron Ramsey. There were banners all around the ground. Do it for Rambo, his nickname. And yes, the message was very clear. Arsenal today, Gabby, did it for Aaron.
Thank you very much, Jonathan. Let's go to Upton Park. West Ham Bolton was a 6-pointer, we said, heading into this one. And Steve Bauer, no doubt, which team tonight will feel that their future is a little bit more secure. You know, Bolton, that is an important psychological boost, isn't it, for them, that 3-pointer?
It's a huge, huge win for Bolton Wanderers, and it was a fantastic game. One of the best Barclays Premier League games I've seen of this season. How there was only 3 goals in it, we'll never know. But Bolton, particularly in the first half, could and should have added to it, but they have won back-to-back games in the Premier League for the first time in nearly a year. The win, of course, today takes them above West Ham United, and for Owen Coyle, he finally has an away win in the Premier League as a manager. He didn't manage it, of course, at Burnley, but it's his first in charge of Bolton. They were 2 up inside 16 minutes. Kevin Davies, who West Ham, in all honesty, couldn't handle all day long with the first, and then terrible defending again from the second. And Jack Wilshere, talking of Arsenal there, a very composed finish from him. Elmander should have made it 3. Jaskalainen had to make saves as well. And then a sending off. It really did have everything this game when Tamir Cohn was shown 2 yellow cards with about 15 minutes to go. And then 2 minutes from time, Diamanti for West Ham with a wonderful strike gave them hope. And then we saw both crossbars rattle. Davis to make it 3-1 for Bolton. And then in stoppage time, Junior Stanislas on as a substitute could have snatched a point, and he hit the crossbar as well. We went into this game talking about how well defensively West Ham have been playing at home. They hadn't conceded a goal in their last 4 league games here. They'd only been beaten 4 times all season here. But yet to watch the first half display in particular, that will worry Gianfranco Zola and the chances that Bolton had. And yet still they could have snatched a point in the end.
Yeah, it will worry. I mean, we talked ahead of the match, didn't we, about how the chairman, Golden Sullivan, have been talking about the realistic financial problems in the Premier League, and you've got to tighten your belt. You're not going to be, you can't spend money you haven't got. It's almost immoral. He said it's cheating if you do. But when the fans start walking out as they did today with 15, 20 minutes to go, these are worrying times.
Well, it was, and it wasn't in keeping with the way they've been playing. They'll hope it's just a blip, but when I tell you that their next 2 games are away at Arsenal and away at Chelsea, they needed something from today. No question it was a hammer blow, but Bolton deserved it. They didn't do it the straightforward way, but they hung on in there, and it's a big, big 3 points for Owen Coyle.
It was indeed, and he's been talking to Andrew James after the match.
Owen, many congratulations. It was a great display right from the start for you.
Yeah, I felt it was. I felt it was a very accomplished performance. I got to say that, accepting that when we went down to 10 men and West Ham being a proud club that they are, we're going to come at us. A terrific finish from their lad, and it gave us probably a scary 5 minutes that we didn't want. Having said that, I think if we analyse the game, we're certainly worthy winners.
In his programme notes, Gianfranco was talking about going for it from the start. It was you that really did that.
Well, I think we've been doing that in most games, I've got to say. I mean, certainly in my time at the club, I've been disappointed with one performance, and that was the away one at Blackburn. But we came here with a belief today that we could win a match, and I felt we showed that. We scored 2 great goals, and if truth be told, should have added to that tally. And while you don't, there's always the quality that West Ham have. They'll always come back into the game. But we came here to get the points, and I felt we were very worthy of them on the day.
It was one of those where people looked at the stats about them not conceding at home, you not scoring away, and they'd have put it down as a straightforward home win, but you really confounded that.
Well, as I said before, I mean, I think we've been playing well, and we showed that last week. We are a big 3 points at home to Wolves. I think it's the first time since last March that, certainly a year ago, that the club's won 2 games back to back. So that's another positive to take. I'm disappointed we never get a clean sheet because I felt the lads had worked ever so hard to get that. But I have to accept it was a quality finish from the West Ham lad.
Owen Coyle, an important win for him as a manager for his first away win in the Premier League. 10 matches since Bolton have won away as well.
He said he came to get the points, and the points he got. And all credit to him. The way he set his stall out, the way he went about the game, I think was first class. It was a tremendous strategy. And I said Moamba, for me, was their best player, with Wilshere improvising very well in the box. Put the second goal away brilliantly. Kevin Davies, as always, outstanding.
OK, let's just get some team news from Molineux. Of course, Manchester United in the tea-time kick-off there. Well, Wolves are unchanged for the 4th straight game. Remember, he made 10 changes, Mick McCarthy, didn't he, for the reverse fixture in December, and got himself into a little bit of hot water. Wayne Rooney, not even amongst the substitutes for Manchester United. He's aggravated, of course, that knee when he played for England, and there was talk that he might not feature in the starting lineup. He's not even a substitute, although... my colleague here, Steve Claridge, makes a good point. There's a certain matter of Milan during the week. Berbatov leads the line. Rio Ferdinand and Vidic resume their partnership in defence. Strategic omission?
Well, I think Sir Alex is saying to Mick McCarthy, anything you can do, I can do better. If you can rest and so can I. No, I think there's certainly... Sir Alex will think, without... no disrespect, but he'll probably think they've got enough to go and win that game. And they've also got, obviously, a big game on Wednesday against AC Milan. He wants to keep his, the player that everybody wants to see fit for that one. And if there is any element of doubt, I'm sure that he's not going to risk it.
He made some interesting comments, didn't he, Garth, in the paper today, saying that he blamed Wayne Rooney because he should have known. He said he's got too much enthusiasm and you've got to almost rein him in and tell him, you know, you just have to take it easy.
Just I think a little warning for the FA, Wayne Rooney and Fabio Capello, that's my duel, just treating him very carefully.
The whole world wants him fit.
Yeah, but what a back five? Van der Sar, Wes Brown, Vidic, Ferdinand, Everett, all back. And where we're now? We're in March. Are they now making their ascent for that title and really going for it now?
Exciting, isn't it?
It is exciting.
OK, well, you can hear that match actually on 5 Live Extra, so if you want to tune into that, 5:25 Live Extra. Now, as promised, the action from the City Ground, John Roder was watching Nottingham Forest Swansea's crunch match in the Championship.
Williams, chase on here for Cucci. And that ball just holds up. Shefki Cucci, can he get away from Morgan? It's still Cucci, Camp with the save, and Morgan away. Anderson, going behind Richards this time and gets away from Richards. In towards Chris Cohen! I think everybody inside the City Ground in Nottingham was expecting the back of the net to be hit with a shot there from Chris Cohen. Oh, it's a terrific ball through. It's Darren Pratley. Was he fouled there by Chris Cohen? Swansea claiming a penalty. The referee and his assistant on the far side are just not interested. Paulo Sousa with a shake of the head in disbelief. The ball coming across the face of Pratley there. And he goes down under the challenge of Cohen from behind. But it is no spot kick. Can they snatch it late on? De Vries has missed it. It's in! Luke Chambers! And it was the easiest of headers. He's completely unmarked. They're on the verge of their 10th successive home win.
A really important win. You can't underestimate that, can you, Steve Claridge, for Nottingham Forest, because it takes them above West Bromwich Albion. You can see all of that and the incidents on the Football League show tonight, 11:30 BBC One. And perhaps that penalty, you know, Palaces will feel very...
It seems on two bad decisions, the referee's decision and Doris de Vries' decision to try and come for the ball, the penalty. It's definitely a penalty. And to be fair, the keeper, before that, Swansea keeper had done fantastically well. Makes one mistake, they get punished and possibly might feel a little bit unfairly done by.
The referee sees it,
he's
and he bottles it.
Yeah.
And it's such a crucial game, third, fourth, you know, when those two automatic promotions...
That's possibly why he might not have given the decision, because it was such a big game. He can see that. It's clearly... Pratley has got... And there's no reason for Pratley not to take that shot. There's no reason for Pratley to go down. You know, law of averages says it's a penalty. There's absolutely no reason for him to take that action.
Newcastle United 6-1 winners over Barnsley, who they only managed to draw with in December, running away with it. 8 points clear now at the top of the Championship.
8 points clear in March. The Mags are doing what they need to do to get back in the Premiership. It's very exciting back up there.
Home form, Gabby. We'll never see them have too much of a bad run. Their home form is fantastic. That will get them
And just a very quick word for the ground just around the corner here. Loftus Road, Neil Warnock. What a start against West Brom.
Well, Warnock has that magic touch, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Too late for a promotion charge, isn't it?
Yes. Too late for him.
Steve, Garth, loved your company as ever. It's a slimline match of the day. Just 3 matches at 10:30 tonight on BBC One. We're moving on to our red button now, so stay with us for interviews from the managers, reaction from the players and goals from the Championship. Hopefully we'll see you there. We've still got plenty more to discuss, plenty more managers wanting to air their opinions on the day's events. Another eventful day at the top of the Premier League, though. From all of us, goodbye.